This is Morten from Inkish. I think this is my second last interview here at Printing United. And I can tell you, I'm going to talk to my good friend Chris from Graphic Wizard. And he is one of the few people where I came up with a suggestion on a time. He said, no, we're so busy, we're selling too much right now. So can you postpone this to the very last moment because we're so busy?
Thank you, Morten. Thank you for seeing us. Appreciate it.
Isn't it always like you're busy with something, right?
Yes, especially at shows, 2.5 days, a lot of people visiting, our distributors as well as the customers, and there's a lot of people to see and a lot of business to sign.
And I mean, that's of course the reason why you're at a trade show, but it's also good to see competition. I guess it's also good to see how people react to new products. You have brought we're going to talk to you about a few products, right? But as you said, you have been involved with guillotines your entire career.
Yes.
But still, you have got something new guillotines here on your booth. You have an electric version,
right,
and it's a hydraulic version, right?
Hydraulic and electric. We've launched our new series of guillotines about 1.5 years ago. We showed for the first time last year at Printing United 2024. So now everything is in stock and rolling out many installations. Yes, personally, I've been involved in guillotines probably since 86 or 87, early in my career. I was a technician to start with, so I learned how to fix them, install them, and train.
But you also know what's important as a printing.
What people need, and not just reliability, but they need features and safety. So when we were ready to relaunch a new brand or a new line of cutters, then we took all of those things that I knew for many years now, as well as the last 10 years that we're selling guillotines, to bring the best solution.
So does that mean that these particular machines has a lot of Chris in it?
Yeah, a little. I mean, I can't take credit for everything, but there are certain things as far as even the ergonomics, how comfortable it is to operate a guillotine. I think it's overlooked when a factory makes a guillotine. If somebody's going to stand there for hours on end, they need to be comfortable. It needs to be your hands need to be comfortable on the buttons, easy on the back, the right height. The foot pedals need to be in the right place. So all those things need to be taken into consideration.
And think of this: you and I and all the people here that are in sales, we feel a little bit sorry for ourselves be standing 2 days at a trade show.
Yep.
And the people that operate these machines are 8-9 hours a day, year round, right?
Yep.
So I guess that is like that knowledge and that experience, of course, is a very important KPI.
Yeah. Now with that, we also sell. We're one of the leaders of slitter cutter creaser business. So every print shop, need a printer. That the second machine they need is a guillotine. So truly, but then with our slitter cutter creaser business, we use that to take, rest people's feet and back at the guillotine to be able to take a lot of the work away from the guillotine onto an automated slitter cutter creaser. However, this is still the lifeblood of the finishing in a print shop. So, we don't want to take away, although we have 8 different models of slitter cutter creasers, guillotines are detrimental to required in the printing industry.
So with all the experience and all the knowledge that you just told me about, so what is it that makes these machines stand out in your view?
Well, a lot of it has to do too with when you look at, there was just a gentleman here a moment ago. He's purchasing this machine. What does he need? He's a sign shop. He doesn't need a 26-inch hydraulic cutter. He needs something to cut some sheets for his digital printer that he's buying, because he's a sign shop first, but he's getting into the digital printing business. So then what he needs to be able to do 1319 or 1218, a 20-inch wide guillotine, of course, fully featured with power back gauge, safety beams, laser cut line, a work light or table light. So it's full featured as our top end machine, or as our competitors, or machines that are maybe much larger and for a heavier production space, but we give them the features in a small machine that you would get on a much more expensive or productive paper cutter. So,
and when you, sorry to interrupt you, but so when you pick an electric version against an hydraulic, is that the number of sheets typically, or is it?
Yeah, how long you're spending at a guillotine. Our electric machines are 18 and 20 inch, so we keep it in that smaller digital space.
So it's about horsepower, basically.
Yeah, horsepower, footprint, but electric cutters have come a long way as far as compared to a hydraulic cutter. How long they're going to last. If you keep your blade sharp in an electric paper cutter, it's going to last as long as a hydraulic cutter. But the maintenance is going to be a little more important because of the way that the electrics work with a gearbox versus hydraulic piston. Yeah. So, often, again, you could have a 40-inch offset shop that has a digital department, and they don't want to go back to their, I'm not going to name brands, to their big cutter out back. Yeah. They want a small machine in their digital shop, so it's not uncommon at all for especially bigger print shops to have multiple guillotines and put a smaller footprint machine in their digital room.
Yeah. One of the things you told me before the camera was turned on, which I also like about this, and that goes for both the electric and the hydraulic, it has like this, also this assistance for the operator, because I guess that we still see difficulties of getting enough qualified labor. Yep. So by having the assistance, you can have people with less skills operating the machine.
Because we have, we sell automation. So with our slitter cutter creasers, put the sheets on, reads a barcode, they walk away, it's cutting sheets. But if you don't have a slitter cutter creaser, and this is your means for cutting business cards, then we'll have in our software prompts to not just back gauge movement, programmability, but some prompts to the operator to what to do next. Make the cut, but then rotate the sheet 90 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise or 180 degrees, or stack your set. So to kind of give guillotine cutting a little more of that level of automation or intuition, then our software has prompts to help give an inexperienced operator a little more experience.
One of the things that I know that you can't talk about, and you couldn't talk about it either last year, but I'm still would like to touch upon, because I think it gives a lot of credibility to Graphic Wizard, is that you and your team have been really able to get into some of the really, really big chains of printers where your machinery actually outperforms. I mean, even before you start talking pricing, your machines and the capabilities and durability outperform. Is that also, I mean, when you look at this machine here and compared to what you sold as a big hit last year, do you see some kind of, let's say, potential in making this like a super power horse for implants and for smaller, let's say, signage shops?
National franchises, national corporate-owned printing shops, printing businesses. As we grow, here we are at the front of the largest print show of the year. We have a huge booth, great visibility, so many people coming to see us, and we've grown from a small family business out of Canada to a large player in the industry. So sky's the limit where we can go with this.
So I can't help think about that because the business model you have is you have some really good suppliers that actually make your equipment. You put your logo and your technology inside the machine.
We brand it here.
And I was just thinking that sometimes I feel that you could be maybe tempted to, when you have like one type of customers where you're really successful, to see, okay, the entire value chain needs, from a trimmer to the laminator to the binding and things like that. Is that
it's a good point, because we, years ago, 10, 15 years ago, they'd say, sorry, I already have a Graphic Wizard, which meant they had either a creasing machine or a perforated numbering machine. Sorry, I already have a Graphic Wizard. I mean, you look around our booth here, we have 30 machines from 8 different categories. So,
but if you're a real wizard, maybe they disappear sometimes, right?
No, a lot of these machines are disappearing from the show, going directly to new owners, which is awesome.
So you sold most of it, or?
We sold a lot of it, Over half of the machines in the booth here are sold and being delivered to end users or to distributors from the show here. So it's been a very good show. But with that, we have now print shops that we go into that have 7, 8 Graphic Wizard machines. It's not, I have a Graphic Wizard now, no. I have
Graphic
Wizards. So it's, which is great. So somebody buys a guillotine or a slitter cutter creaser, they've had a great experience, they come see us at the show, well, what do you do for perfect binding? What about digital die cutting? What do you have for saddle stitching?
So you get a lot of feedback about what the market needs.
And you've got to do a good job with that first sale, and they've got to feel good about the brand that they bought and the reliability, and that's how we That's how we put their second or seventh graphic wizard into their business.
But that is the Canadian friendliness, right?
Well, maybe some of that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.